Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be finishing up the rebuild on this golf cart engine, dropping it into the golf cart and giving it a whirl around the neighborhood. Excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold. Try not to be gross and blow my nose and do too many sniffles, but I will be talking a little bit funny, so bear with me there. But let's jump right in and get going on it. Alright guys, so here we are. Just going to jump right in. I got a new gasket for the carburetor. So we'll just throw that on real quick, get that out of the way. I want to put as much of this on now before we drop it in, just because it's pretty tight and I don't want to have to bend over and just get it all out of the way now. So put this carburetor on. Somewhat. We'll have to put the air cleaner on and stuff like that, but just for the most part. It's kind of a goofy little gasket there. This guy bought this, it's an aftermarket carb. I don't think that's the right gasket for it, but it was working. Just put these on to hold it in place for now. Okay, next up, let's get this flywheel on. Make sure this has got plenty of room. Key's already in there, so I'm just going to put this on. Line it up. Okay, put the washer and the nut on. Torque value for this flywheel is 85 foot-pounds. Which is quite a lot. Had to jump up to my 1/2-inch torque wrench to get that. I'm not sure if my strap wrench will go around that or not. Oh yeah, it should. Plenty. Let's see, we're going that way though. Should have done this the other way. That will kind of hold it for me. I'm gonna move you over here so I can get a good grip on it. That's not a good grip. Get that strap wrench in there so it's on a fin, not in the gap. Like that. That's not going to do it either. Oops. Almost there. This is where it would be nice when it was attached to something. There we go. 85 foot-pounds. Okay, got that on. Now we need to set the ignition armature gap. Do that and grab a business card here. This one's kind of tricky. It's back. We'll cut this in half. Let's see. I know I keep walking in front of this. Sorry about that. This one's kind of tricky. There we go. That's interesting. I just noticed that, but this has got it set up so you can set the coil. It's got little holes or cutouts in the flywheel where you're supposed to set it. That's the magnet's right under here. It's got little cutouts in the flywheel, so you can adjust it properly. I was sticking my wrench in there, but get yourself a ratchet with an extension, crank it down. There you go. I guess the engineers do know what they're doing most of the time. Most of the time they don't care about the mechanics and how it's set up, but stuff like that's pretty ingenious. Okay, so we got that set up. You run it around real quick, make sure it doesn't hit anything. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see, what have we got else over here? I'm gonna flip it around, start working on the other side. All right. So over here, I'm gonna put the exhaust on, or the muffler, once we put it in. It's kind of tricky to get it in there, and it's attached to the frame also, so we'll do that once we do get it in. We got to put on the pulley, the primary clutch, and the what else? What am I missing? I think that's it. The clutch and the starter generator pulley with the belt. So let's do the clutch first, and then we'll get the pulley up, or the belt up on this pulley. That's pretty tight, so. I guess we could have put the cover on over the on the other side as well. That was kind of a mess, but get this back on here as well. This didn't need to come off. Just playing with some stuff at the time. Not sure why it came off actually, I don't remember. Yeah, don't recall why that came off. But we'll put it back on real quick. This one's all boogered up. This was a pain in the butt to get off. I had to buy the actual clutch removal tool to get it. Tried several different methods before and it just would not budge. So if you're watching this before you do it, to see if it's something you want to do, you may think about buying the clutch removal tool in preparation for it. Looks something like that. Stick it in there. These thread into the thread of the clutch and then press on the crankshaft, pull it off. Takes quite a bit of pressure. So just keep that in mind. So when you're putting your primary back on, you're going to put the bolt back on. If you've seen one of these little doohickeys laying around, this is the place to remember it. This is the little spacer, washer, whatever that actually goes on to here or onto the bolt, with this part going towards the sheave. So it sits on like that. If you've been following along, Rooster, you remember me trying to figure out where that goes when I tore this all down, had a million pieces. So just remember that. This kind of goes on here and holds this. It's a stop when it comes out, but that's where that fancy little part goes. Okay, so we got that all put together. Now we will get this belt put on. And this is a pain in the rear end. It is tight. Not sure best way to do that. Oops, is it caught down there the whole time? It may have been. You guys are probably sitting there laughing. Has no stretch in it. It's about to break. He doesn't want to replace it. I'm actually not quite sure how to do this, honestly. If I put it on and do the whole, that trick might work, but I just don't know that it will. Somebody's screaming at the computer right now telling me how to do it, but this thing just has no give. If I go that way, it seems I might have some better luck. Almost there. Dag nabbit. Look, it's just chewing it up. Seems to have better luck from the bottom. Doesn't want to go. I'm about to eat this thing up. Oh, brother. Then go back to school, I guess. Need to work smarter, not harder, bro. Okay, just got that all put together. What else am I missing? Let me double check. Got all my missing parts. Okay, I'm gonna flip it back around, put this cover on, and then I think we will be good to go drop her in, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, there she is. Let me go pull the cart out, get her into a spot where you guys can see everything, and get everything set up, and we will be good to go. All right, guys, so here's the cart. Let me go grab the motor and I'll drop it in. Oh, shit. There we go. Jeez. Just need to straighten her out a bit and get her centered, but sitting in the right spot at least. start putting things together. Crankcase breather. Okay, so now we need to hook up generator and the low oil shutoff sensor. So there's gonna just kind of be a lot of wiring here for a minute. Might not be able to see exactly what I'm doing, but man, that's kind of tight in there. I'll do that from the other side. Let me get a few tools. Hook up the battery to the generator. What's going on here? You stripped or what? Guess that's why they have two. Interesting. Okay. Let me get that oil sensor hooked up. Back around. Well, let's figure out where this throttle cable routes before we get too far. Just gotta go right up through here, I think. Right up over the top. No, I bet it goes right through the middle. Yeah, it goes. Bet you it goes right up through there. Pull that generator off, probably be easier. get that belt on there. That'll do. Okay. That's the throttle. Figured that. Okay. What else we got to do? Let's put on the belt and then bolt down the engine, I'd say. What do you think? You still in the frame, or is this thing moving? Whoops, sorry there. Okay, we got the belt on. Now we just need to line up the placement of the engine, get the bolts in, the holes, and get her mounted. Let's see where that front one is. I think we're a little ways off. Maybe too far forward, actually. Okay, we've got one in. Got the rear driver's side in. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room on these. The mounting hole in the actual frame is just a single hole, like a solid. How do I say that? Like there's no space for movement. The only movement can be in the block. Let's see where this one is. It needs to go that way, I think. Yep. Okay. Front driver's in. Front passenger's in. This one should be in, but it seems to be jammed between the cover. Figure out how to get that bolt down. There we go. Just need a little persuasion. Let's see if I've got the right tools or not. 12s? Nope, they're gonna be 14s. So these get locked into place with a washer, 14mm flange nut, locking nut. I'll go underneath and do that real quick. We'll be good to go. Oops. Okay. Engine is mounted. Let me grab the spark plug, put a new plug in there, get that plugged up. This takes a BPR 2ES. I don't see too many of those very often. I gotta put that cover on. Dang it, I think this went on before the valve cover, unfortunately. Now that I'm remembering, took the valve cover off in here to check it. And I think it did. It's okay. I'll just zip that off real quick. I'm gonna break that freaking valve cover gasket. Man, what is going on here? I don't understand. Put that carb housing on backwards. Must have. Just full of mistakes today, guys. My head's not in the right spot. I'm sick. I feel like I'm diving at 150 feet. Sometimes it's okay to just take a break, but the problem is I've been taking a break for 4 days. I've been sick all weekend. I gotta get this stuff done, man. But that's when mistakes happen, and I hate it. Absolutely hate it. That doesn't work either. What is going on? I know that's the way it went. Well, it's how it came to me. I guess he had it backwards too. That's how I took it off. So, fancy that. Alright guys, I am going to put the air, I'm just going to crank it over a few times, just make sure everything's put together right before we get any farther. See what we think. Oops. Get you out of the way, I want to make sure it's in neutral. I'm not going to go anywhere, but let's see. There we go. Okay, so something's not hooking up right. Let's see. What are we doing? Ah, cool. I'm pleased with that. This battery cable busted off. It was just hanging there. So I'm gonna have to redo that, but I'm cool with that. That gives me motivation to keep going. So let's keep putting this back together. Get some gas going on it. Make sure we're not smoking, and then we'll keep going after that. Give her a little test drive. What do you say? Okay, let's get the airbox back together. Well, I don't want to do that quite yet because we're going to have to hook up the choke linkage and stuff. Let me go grab the body, put the body on. Let me get the muffler on real quick. Then we'll throw the body on. Okay, jump underneath, put this back on. nasty muffler. That's from all that oil that was coming out of it before we got this thing fixed. That's why I get paid the big bucks, folks. Hopefully, find out. Okay, now let me go grab the body, and as soon as we put that on, I can hook up the throttle, or excuse me, the choke linkage, which will allow us to put on the air cleaner, and then we'll send it. Take it for a spin. I think I've got to take this off too. I'll try and get a picture. My customer took a lot of the parts home. Wanted to save me some space. 2, he had to do some work on a couple of them. So, but I'll try and get a picture of the whole thing when it's all finished and put back together, so you guys can see what it looks like. Because it's a pretty cool little machine. It's getting stuck on now. There we go. Okay. That's good enough for back here. Where did this part go? Here comes the sniffles, guys. I apologize. Probably driving you nuts just listening to that. It's hot out here, which makes everything worse. That little, there it is. I'm gonna get a new one. That one's bad. A screwdriver. Move the camera, you probably guys can't even see what I'm doing, huh? Guess you can, a little bit. You know what? I can't remember if he used this or not. Must have just put it on the black cable. So that metal cable would keep the choke open or closed the whole time. That's not going to work. But that will. Okay. Let's put the air cleaner on. There we go. I'm gonna run it and I might not be able to take it for a ride. As soon as we hit a bump, that battery cable is just gonna pop off. But I'm gonna run it in neutral here for a minute. Just see if we can't get all this smoke, or make sure it's not smoking. Just in while it drives in place. carburetor nuts are in a really bad spot. Okay. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. But here's the moment of truth. All this hard work. Time to tell. Still in neutral. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go, guys. Well, I gotta put this bolt in. It doesn't matter. I'm not driving. Let's find out. I'll give you a step back, see if you can see any smoke. Here we go. Guess better turn it on. Prime it. I didn't see any smoke, did you? I'd say that's a job well done. What do you think? Man, I am pleased with that. Woo! Makes me happy. It's always one of those deals where you're just kind of waiting for that thing to prime, hoping it comes through. I'm gonna put this bolt through this back assembly. Guy told me if I drove it around, I had to, it's part of the lift, I guess. Gotta keep it together, otherwise it gets all wonky. Yeah, you can see the whole frame shift when I do that. Let's see. And then we'll go for a drive. Think about that. Let's go see where I live, I guess. Man, I didn't see a single puff of smoke. I was tickled. Come on. It's the end of the day. Cut me some slack. Oh, I might have a... Is that a 14? Nice. Slack was granted. All right, all right. Let me get these seat brackets installed. That way we can just, is that how you do it? Let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, you put them in the front, okay. We can put the seat in at least. Is that how it goes? Thought so, but Maybe not. Certainly aren't the bolts for it. Well, we'll just lay the seat across it. How's that? Take you guys for a spin. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Try not to scuff up these pretty seats. Whoops, I've got to run away. Alrighty folks, so had to charge up the battery. So went ahead and put the seat on and got some other things put all back together. But here she is. Again, let's just run her real quick, make sure she's not smoking, and then we'll go for a ride. So the muffler pops out right about here, so keep an eye on her, make sure she's not smoking. Let's go ahead and take it for a spin. Oh man. I'm gonna have to switch out that battery cable. This thing is a dog. Well guys, there is the golf cart rebuild. Still a few things I need to touch up before I send it back to the customer. Obviously need to replace that battery cable from the solenoid to the starter generator keeps falling off and quitting on me, which is why we were dying along the way. But just a few minor things. From the engine standpoint, it doesn't smoke, it runs well. Very pleased with how that turned out. So for that side of it, I hope the customer will be pleased. I know he will be pleased. And that all turned out really well. So hopefully you guys had fun following me along. If you did, think about hitting that thumbs up button for me. You can go back and watch some of the other videos, follow along in the process. If you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. And thanks again for following along in this adventurous process. This isn't something that I necessarily take on all the time. These are just kind of the odd jobs that come in, and if I'm not super busy, I tend to take them on because I think they'll be fun, and they'll expand my knowledge base and give me an opportunity to learn. So again, thanks for following along, thanks for watching, and as always, make a choice to have a great day. Thank you all for watching.